No, don't say good morning to me. I've said this before, and I know some of you have told me that you've seen everything that I've ever produced. Is that your chair? Which means you didn't see everything, because don't say good morning to me. Because I get, it's like I get a psychotic rush, flashback when I hear good morning. Because when I was in the military going through the strenuous training, if you said good morning, what's good about it, Peña, you sorry cunt? You're the sorriest fucking Mexican in this man's army. You like me, Peña? No matter what you say. If you like him, you want to fuck me in the ass, Peña? If you don't like him, it doesn't matter. You like my wife, Peña? There's no right answer. So whenever you say good morning to me, that's what I think of. And some of you, I wrote this down last night at 4:15 when I woke up. Tried to go back to sleep, didn't work. I am stunned. I am appalled by the average impotence of the people that follow QLA, follow Tony, follow Grant, whoever the fuck you follow. And we're going to talk about that. And because we had an old woman here in the 90s, there was a commercial on television that says, where's the beef? It was about hamburgers. I don't know if it was a Big Mac or whoever that was, but it wasn't Big Mac. I don't know what it was. Wendy's. And where's the beef? And about the third day, the old lady said, she was from San Diego, come to think of it, and she, with her credit cards, put together a roll-up of hospices. Anyway, Mr. Peña, where's the beef? The third day, because we don't talk about how do you get the fucking money and how do you do deal flow till late in the seminar. It's like sex. It all comes at the end, okay? But we spend a lot of time setting the foundation of why you're so fucked up. Because the better you appreciate why you're so fucked up, the better you'll be able to go out and do the things that you need to do. And whereas everybody else, that's an exaggeration, but whereas most everybody else tells you how easy it is, and I tell you, as I told the Oxford kids, no, you're not going to go out and make any fucking money because you're not willing to make the sacrifices. But most of the guys and gals, and I'm not going to conduct the seminar any different because there's no women in the audience. In fact, I told you a couple of the comments I made about, and at least one of the women got off on it, pun intended, when she says, I have to have my buns warmed, what did I say, buns warmed or buns heated every 7 to 10 days or I don't feel right. That means she needs to have an orgasm from sex. Okay, and then I told you last night at dinner, but most of the women that come through here say what my father told me 45, 50 years ago. Most men fall into the category of stiff drink and a good fucking kill 'em. Okay, and it gets back to, why are we impotent? Why are you impotent? Why are you here? And you'll better appreciate why you haven't been able to take the risks. Now, some of you, one of the questions I ask in the forums, are you taking enough risk in your life? And almost every single person says no. I think one of you said yes, which you're a lying cunt. You don't know what a fucking risk is, asshole. And I hope you know who I'm talking to. And if you think that's a risk, then that's why you're fucked up, because it isn't a risk, you know. There's a risk every day you get out in the morning. Now, when you're as old as the old Git and I, every morning we get up, we're happy, aren't we? Yeah, okay. Now, we have people here from 17 to 69. Now, I don't go around and ask your name and why are you here. Who gives a fuck? Okay, but I am going to just say, my name's John, I'm 36 or whatever, around, so okay.
My name is Yasir, and I'm 33.
Bruce, 55.
Andre, 26. Alex, 31.
John, 45.
Arthur, they'll get 69. Peter, 34.
Mark, 47.
Juan, 32.
Jackson, 39.
Emmanuel, 30.
Alex, 27.
Amir, 18.
Blake, 22.
Alfred, 56, 55.
AJ, 41.
You should. You got to think about that, okay?
Allah 46.
Praise Allah. Anyway, well, I'll get around to that later. Yeah, okay.
Jonathan, 55.
Jonah, 17.
Patrick, 32 in a few days.
John, 31.
Chris, 31.
Joe, 25.
Oli 29.
Okay. So we run the gamut from 17 to 69. I mean, that's a pretty big spread. Although 69 is not the oldest we've ever had here. We've had 77, as I said last night. We had a grandfather, a daughter, and a granddaughter who actually sat right about there. In those days, we didn't move you around because tomorrow you would have different spots. And they sat in a row, which was kind of interesting. Not kind of, it was very interesting to see the response when I think the 17-year-old granddaughter realized why she did some of the things, and she'd look at her mother, and her mother would look at her father, and it's quite interesting. But another thing I thought of it about 2:15 in the morning, I woke up the first time, is that one of the people on the Hall of Fame told me that's almost 20 years ago that happiness is a choice, Dan. And it didn't resonate 20 years ago, but now that I'll be 71 in a couple of weeks, it does resonate more and more the older I get, because it's not what happens to us in life, guys. It's how we react to what happens to us, because we all get dealt bad cards through life. Now, what you're going to find out, and I say it not so much tongue in cheek, most of you, the bad cards were your parents. And when I told the Oxford kids that, and they're elitists, and I say this with the greatest respect, you can't come away from going to Oxford and being on that campus for 3 or 4 years without thinking you're an elitist. There's no fucking way. Cambridge the same. I've never been to the Cambridge campus, but I mean, you just cannot. You can't, there's 5 or 6 institutions in the United States and maybe 10 in the world that are of that same ilk. And you wonder why they are the way they are. Now, I went to a school you got to explain about, which I'll talk about later. It's most famous for because it was leveled during the 1971 and 1991 earthquakes in Southern California. Leveled. I mean, leveled like this carpet. And I was going there in 71, and I was on the board of directors in 91. But we'll talk about that later. Because you're going to have some decisions in life, and you've already had decisions in life that you made wrongly, because now you got to explain about them. You got to, that's why I did that. You want to do things that you don't have to explain why you did it. And when you're building your dream team, you want people on your dream team. Well, my chairman, really, he's a good guy. The fact that he was indicted for security fraud, and you got to explain about it. And when the kids, in your weekly reports, and you send me, is this guy all right to be on the board of the directors? And I looked through quickly the profile. Indicted but cleared of securities fraud. Now, what the fuck? I mean, but that was 7 years ago or 17 years ago. But with Google, it's today. It's today. And kids, and I call you all kids again. I'm having trouble calling you kid, but kids, because I'm either old enough to be your father or grandfather, or at least in your case, maybe slightly older brother. But kids, I mean, if you can't understand that a guy or a gal that was convicted or indicted for security fraud may not be a good choice, then something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. Here we go. Now, some people say that's my style of management, and I really am. And the only thing that I have in common with being a Muslim, it's this 8th, 9th, 10th century religion. Well, I'm an 8th, 9th, 10th century manager. I would rather cut your hand off, you fuck up. I would rather stone you. So that I have in common. Now, we are going to, you're going to think sometimes that I'm training you to be the 5th horseman of the apocalypse. Well, you're right. You're right. The Guthrie family is famous for religion and politics. They used to hold a Bible in one hand and a sword in the other. And you either took religion or they cut your heat off. That was it. Sir John Guthrie, who got the first, it was 500,000 hectares, I think, was the original land grant in 1469, 1468 by John III of Scotland. And he got that, and you get land from those kinds of people because you killed a lot of people. You didn't get it for praying. Now, this is, I mean, we fucked it up. Now, I'm not a believer in global warming. I don't believe that. And you're going to understand why through the week. But if it's true, we fucked it up. Okay? But the old Git and I, we don't give a shit. He's getting his new plane. He got a boat on his 6th to 7th wife. He doesn't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck either. I've already been through the plane stage and the yacht stage. Now, at 6 months, I said last night, kids, unless they've got to change their nappies, their diapers, are happy. Okay? And then at 3 years, they're still happy. And at 7 years, they're still happy. Remember, self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years. And then something happens. Something happens. Something's still happening. And what's happening is because back here, just about there, your parents have taken a hold of your persona. Why isn't everybody happy, slappy later on? Or wrong way. Because your parents in life, contrary to what you think. There's some people in this room that they've devoted their life to being good parents. Praise Allah. But as I told the Oxford kids, and the Oxford kids just shit themselves. Love don't get the fucking job done. If love got the job done, then more of you would be motherfucking successful. And you wouldn't be here paying me an arm and a leg, you think. If love got the job done. Love doesn't get the motherfucking done. And as I told the Oxford kids, to two mums, which I call Blondie both, which is not politically correct, I said, no matter what you're going to do, sweetheart, and that's not politically correct either, when they're 15, 20, they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. And kids actually tell, now I would have dreamt of telling my dad to go fuck himself when I was a kid. And you'll understand later why. But kids actually tell parents to fuck off. It's beyond my comprehension. I can't even begin to think or dream or fantasize of telling my dad to go fuck off. Some of you as kids, according to your papers you filled out, have told your parents to fuck off. Some of you in this room had crack heads for parents, or at least one parent. Half of them, either a guy or a gal. Almost all your parents didn't have any self-esteem by your own admission. And if you think they didn't have fucking self-esteem, and it was that obvious, then they really didn't have self-esteem. Ciao, YouTube.